Well, hey guys. So another one of those.
Yeah.
So what was it? What was this one about?
This one's about how do you talk about a movie that logically you liked but you never want to see again. You know what I mean? It's like if you were to distill my opinion about Keanu down to one sentence or one question really is how do you recommend a movie that you liked but you never want to see again? I mean, that seems so backhanded, and it seems so like, what, do you really like it? I mean, if you liked it, why wouldn't you want to see it again? And I'll get into that later in the review, but how do you do that?
So usually it's a dramatic movie, like maybe like Brokeback Mountain or something. We're like, wow, that was a
Or Saving Private Ryan.
yeah, like that was a really good movie, but man, that was a hard sit through, something like that.
Yeah, but
But I wouldn't think that in the case of Keanu.
no. My feelings about Keanu are very complicated and very nuanced. Uh, I wasn't expecting to feel these things that I was feeling, but
So why don't you just go ahead and
all right.
tell them how you feel, because I want to I want to hear it too.
All right. Keanu, the whole premise of Keanu is predicated upon awkward humor. It's entirely predicated upon the idea that two people are in a situation where they have to lie and pretend to be something that they're not in order to get through.
I follow you there. I mean, I think we all felt that in the theater.
Yeah, and that's where the comedy comes from. A fish out of water, acting completely against their own nature, and then trying to cover that up throughout the course of the movie.
And except it wasn't any one, it wasn't any one time in the movie where they had to pull this out, but it was the entire film.
Yeah,
It wasn't just one scene. It was every single scene was awkward, having to again and again reestablish themselves as the people they're trying to seem to be.
when they are clearly not.
And just like they never really gain a lot of momentum at it.
Not towards the end. I mean, towards the end, they start to believe their own hype, as it were, and those were at first like those scenes were easier to watch than everything that came before it. And part of the reason that's so hard to watch for me is that as a viewer, as an audience member, I'm really receptive and really almost to the point of like this empathy I have with on-screen characters whenever they're in an awkward moment. Whether or not that I've ever been in a similar situation that I could, empathize with these characters or not. It's just like there is tension and there is awkwardness, and for someone like me, I feel that, and it's nerve wracking.
You mean you were engaged?
Yeah, I was engaged, yes, but that's not to the credit of the movie. I think that's just more of me personally.
Yeah.
Because like I could be disengaged with the movie completely, and then something really really awkward happens, and I'm just like, oh, god damn it.
So would you say that awkward moment would have fit this movie better than
Than that awkward moment.
yeah?
Well,
Was this
considering
another case of right title, wrong movie, or
no, well, one calling this movie Keanu does kind of a disservice to the movie because even though the whole point of the movie is Keegan Michael Key and Jordan Peele trying to get back a cat that they named Keanu. So, and by the way, throughout this movie, this cat is basically the One Ring. Every single
yes,
person
it
who
was
comes,
the kitten of Sauron.
yeah, like every time somebody gets into contact with this freaking kitten, they're just beside themselves. It's this is my cat now. I want this cat to be around me. Like it could be everyone. Like
To the point of murdering each other over it, literally murdering each other.
to the point where like Luis Guzman just appears at the end of at the end of the movie, just saying like, "No, man, I was going to give that cat to my aunt so that way she could remember my cousin." So it's like, no, you don't take the cat, or you take the cat that deals off. It's like this multi-million-dollar deal, and then just completely thrown down the drain over a freaking kitten.
Yeah.
Such is the power of Keanu, and from that mindset, I understand why that movie is called Keanu. But
Except the kitten is, spoilers, not thrown into the fires of Mordor at the end.
now that would be hilarious. And not because I want to. Not
If the
because.
plot turned out to be like, dude, this cat has a supernatural power.
Yeah, like-
and he has to help the guy because he's suffering from holding the cat for so long, and he has to like coax him into, no, you gotta kill it. You gotta kill it.
Like this kitten is evil. Like it is. It is.
Right, but he's about to drop it over. He turns around and he says, "It's mine.
No, Mr.
It's mine."
No, Mr. Frodo. No, Mr.
And
Frodo.
then he doesn't turn invisible. He
No,
just kind of walks away.
And just like he was
He's like, I could still see you.
he just walked away with the cats. Like, we're going to pick up some Mr. Whiskas. I mean, yes, we're going to have some fun. Yes,
We're gonna have some meow meow.
And then he just kind of fucks off and starves himself because he's spending all his money on
Yeah.
this cat and nothing else.
You know, why does this seem like a better movie?
than what we actually got.
You know, this kitten actually doesn't have a lot of screen time in the movie. I mean, it's mostly like the beginning and the end. It gets lots at the beginning and the end, but not much in throughout the majority of the meat of this movie. Isn't really the movie that the previews kind of make it out to be. It's more of the awkward movie that we got. Mm-hmm. It has the kind of awkward feel that Bulworth did. If you've seen Warren Beatty and Bulworth.
Oh, that was another movie I couldn't watch.
Yes, I figured.
Yeah, but at least with Warren Beatty doing all of that, that is so predicated. Like I said, I use that word predicated again, but that is so hardwired into the concept of the movie that to say that, you know, like, well, Warren Beatty, what the hell is Warren Beatty talking jive in front of a political audience? It's like, well, that's the
Looking
point.
at the motherfucking Burger King. I mean, at the time, I don't know, but you make that movie now,
Ooh,
it's a hard sell.
I think it was a hard sell even
then.
Yeah, even then. I mean, like Halle Berry, saint of an actress that she is. I mean, you gotta feel bad for Halle Berry. Like she's called up for this role. She's going to act opposite of Warren Beatty. He's like, you know, classically handsome actor, you know, respected, and then here he comes acting like this complete jackass parody of gangsta. I mean, let's not mince words here. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Now, if you transplant that idea and then put that same idea within two black guys, but who are just suburbanite black guys, so like there's not an ounce of hood in them, so they're as equally as out of place talking and acting like a New Jack City gangsters as Warren Beatty, except now they look black. So now it becomes sort of like an Inglourious Bastard situation where they have to pretend they're... Yeah, if you cross Bulworth with Inglourious Bastards, you get fucking Keanu.
Wow.
I can't believe I just pulled that reference up, but I did. Holy shit. But describing that movie sounds like a much more fun and enjoyable experience
Than this was.
because like...
Well, let's explain to them the part that gives the essence of the movie, which is, I think pretty much in a nutshell, it would be the George Michael scene.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's teaching them about George Michael. You know, you got a black guy teaching other black guys about how great George Michael is, and lying to them about the history of
Well, not really lying, but just
bending the truth
heavily bending the truth
to the point where they think that George Michael is black
and killed fucking his partner in Wham.
Yes. I'd say that's pretty freaking heavy bending.
Heavy bending, but he never outright said that, you know, he killed
He never
him.
outright said it, but God,
It's like, he was never seen again. You mean he killed him? He was
never seen again.
It's like, oh, shit.
And the terrible accents that they put on it.
It's like,
But so you got that picture, and you know one of the gangsta, one of the badass gangsta, hood rat thug, whatever.
baller badass.
Yeah, baller badass. He gets a big tattoo on his stomach of that says, you know, George Michael and gangster. In gangster lettering with the ear and the cross earring on it. It is just like, just proudly showing that off. It's like, oh,
like, yeah. Like if you just like if you spread that kind of humor around the movie, you
Yeah.
get that kind of movie. Now, I appreciate that kind of humor because it takes a deft hand to know where the awkward but where that awkwardness lies and why people laugh at awkwardness. And it's not really kind of like a genuine humor though. It really conforms to the idea of comedy, or especially the theory of laughing as an ability, like the ability to express pent up frustration or pent up emotion that you weren't expecting to feel. That's why we laugh at inappropriate times, like a fart in a funeral,
Yeah.
or when people laugh when things get tense.
It's kind of habromaniac.
Yeah, it's very much like that. And that's like laughter is laughter. You do anything for a laugh.
I mean, that is habromania, and what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Every time something stressful happens, you laugh at the wrong time, and so that actually is a disorder.
Ugh. And that's and that follows that. But as I was saying, it's not to say that it's a good comedy to say that you're laughing from the awkwardness. I mean, if you enjoy awkwardness,
I think this movie makes habromaniacs of all of us.
I think so.
You watch this movie and you wonder, why am I feeling so awkward yet laughing at it the entire time? And maybe for this guy, much more than that.
Oh,
He's literally in his seat like this, just. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I am sunk in my chair. My hands are over my
And I'm
face.
worried about this guy. I'm just
Like
poking him. It's like, is he okay?
And it's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just it was such a nerve-wracking movie for me to
You
see.
can watch now. You can watch now. It's over. The scene's. Oh, it's another one. No.
God, it was like it was so unpleasant for me to sit through. Like, even if that was the intent, I know that was the intent, and it's not the movie's.
God, I felt so bad for you.
It was not the movie's. It was not the movie's intent to cause me such grievous, like nerve-wracking.
I've never seen you had to be that sunken in your chair the whole movie.
Yeah, and that's just me with awkward moments in movies. I've always been hypersensitive
Like
about that.
sitting through, Neighbors or whatever.
Like
and,
Neighbors was just a bad comedy.
that awkward moment.
Like not that awkward. All of that was just bad comedy. There was never that like if Bad Neighbors was all about Seth Rogen and his wife pretending to be like young people in a frat, and they just had to pass me da bong. Yes, I like the Mary Jane.
Actually, it would have been better than what you got, though.
At least that
it would have been awkward for you, but
at least there would have been
way
jokes.
better.
At least there would have been
The
jokes.
Mary Jane.
But it's no exaggeration to say that Keanu is that idea just replaced with black actors. And it's such a nerve-wracking movie for me to sit through because I know it's that scene after scene after scene of them just kind of like, yeah nigga, I'm just hard as fuck, yeah, like scene after scene after scene after scene of that. And not only that, but it's also the other characters surrounding Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, who are just the most gullible, easily led on morons that cannot for the life of them figure out that, hey, that stuttering asshole who keeps kind of contradicting himself with the other guy? Are we just going to buy this hook, line, and sinker? The comedy, there is no movie if they don't have these types of characters. If they don't have I'll buy it.
I mean, how this movie should have ended segments. This one would have been very short. It would have been like, "Hey, I'm Shark Tank, and I'm dead."
Exactly.
That's
no
movie.
Yeah, the way they acted at the beginning of the scene.
Dead.
Yeah, nobody in their right mind would have believed for a moment. Black as they are, they're no. They're you wouldn't believe for a moment that Bill Cosby was a gangster.
Not even dead, just kicked out.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't believe.
Or maybe, hey, there's our. You wanna do a gamble? You wanna put some money on this here?
Yeah, the moment they stepped into the strip club where the gang, excuse me, that the gang was hide. I wouldn't call it a hideout, but whatever. Just the moment they first laid eyes on him, they would have been either dead or just kicked out.
We know our gangster terms here.
Look, we're about as white.
We're about as white
as could be, and that's probably a good chunk of the discomfort too.
I think that's a part of it, definitely, because you can definitely imagine yourself in that situation, and honestly, they were acting even more white than us at certain points. So.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, I wouldn't listen to fucking George Michael in my car.
No, I don't listen to George Michael either. If it comes on the radio, though, I might listen to it. That's how white I am.
Yeah, but it's.
Ryan Reynolds loves George Michael. Wham's his favorite band, apparently. So, I mean, not just from watching the movie Deadpool, but he, in an interview, actually expressed that, I guess.
And apropos of nothing, a little bit of trivia for you all, but I think recounting the plot of the movie is pretty straightforward because it's a very straightforward kind of movie. I don't remember the characters' names, so I'm just going to call him Jordan Peele comes across a cat after his girlfriend breaks up with him, and he is absolutely enraptured with the cat. But it turns out this cat used to belong to a Mexican gangster that was him and his cartel were completely wiped out by two baller badasses that just happened to look like Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
Basically, two Antonio Banderases. From Once Upon a Time in Mexico, from Desperado, and the other one is a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's let's not confuse.
Why did I go to the sequel? Why did I go to the fucking sequel? No.
Yeah,
no.
Except
Desperado.
Except in this movie, the Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele are each other's Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, they're both. I was gonna say not as good looking, but you're right. Yes, that's very accurate.
But the cat escapes, winds up in. Jordan Peele's hands, and he's in love with this cat, and Keegan-Michael Key plays his cousin, and they're just like there's some happiness in Jordan Peele's life, but then the cat gets stolen because he lives right next door to a weed dealer, and the guys who's in the gang that stole him thought that
they swapped the houses.
Yeah, they thought they were ransacking his neighbor's house, but they take the cat because, like I said, the cat's the fucking One Ring, and whoever lays eyes on him wants him.
Which was, that's a kind of awesome plot device. It's stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
And they could have this movie upset me because it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
And it could have had so much more kitten in it. I ain't kitten.
What a catastrophe.
I give this movie, 2 paws up.
I wish I had more hands so I could give that joke 4 thumbs down.
This movie me wowed me? I fucked it up.
No,
me wowed.
Leave the puns to the professionals. There was a pun.
The punfessionals.
That's not even a pun. That's just mispronouncing words. That's just you not knowing what English is. What's wrong with you?
Kittens don't understand English. Doesn't matter.
No, they do not.
You can say anything to a kitten.
So
that's why you love them so much.
So Jordan Peele just nuts up and says, "I'm going to find this fucking cat, no matter what." And they find that they find out that he was been abducted by the the Blips. Hey. Never thought I'd see the day where I get to talk about Blip again. But, they were talking about the 17th Street Blips. Guess where they are? 17th Street.
And, of course, they made that joke. Yeah. Where are they? They're on 17th Street. No.
Yeah. The weed dealer, by the way, is played by... I forgot the guy's name. He's the actor in Last Man on Earth. That wrongly named television show.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah, that was him.
I watched the pilot, and I didn't need to watch anymore. That's such a terrible show.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, maybe it got better.
No, it didn't get better because it could only get worse from there because
the very first show they introduce another person.
Yeah, so obviously...
Fuck you!
When you call a show The Last Man on Earth, and in the first episode, you reveal it to be untrue... I mean, that's sort of that's just the fate of all these types of stories, like Omega Man, Omega Man, like I Am Legend.
Yeah. And those ones didn't even have "I'm the last fucker on Earth" in the title,
No, well, Omega
and
Man.
they still had longer periods of time without other people.
Well, Omega Man literally means last man, so.
I haven't even seen Mega Man. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like Omega Man, Omega Man.
Omega Man.
Omega Man,
I
yes.
thought you said Mega Man. You said Mega Man, didn't you?
Not Omega Man. I kind of omitted the O part of Omega.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
could
the Omega.
yeah. So, but that was the first film adaptation of I Am Legend. So I had no idea why they couldn't call it I Am Legend. I mean, well, but that's neither here nor there, and that is so not the movie.
But anyway,
But if we're so like you can imagine where the movie goes from there. So they track down the blips. They tried to infiltrate it, saying they're these hardcore gang. They in excuse me, in just the way this movie kind of coasting on being fortunate and just vampiring off other people's ignorance and just volunteering information.
speaking of vampiring, one of the gangsters was named High C.
Yeah.
In my vampire game, that was the name I gave my retainer. High C. When I was playing Tank, the gangster black kid. Vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
High C.
This moment was pretty much me the whole movie. Just like, oh, God damn it. I mean, if you wanted like audience reaction of me sitting through Keanu, it's just a lot of. Never do that again. I'm not after this night. All right, give me at least a week to recover from being put
Never
through.
do what? Make you watch the movie? I didn't make you watch the movie.
No. Just,
Never let you spend money on a movie like that for both you and me.
I don't.
You bought both those tickets.
I
You
don't.
did it to yourself.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. But the structure of the movie is glued together by one, other characters' ignorance, and two, them volunteering information. Like the Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele had no intention of going in as those hardcore ballers that just happened to look like them. They didn't even know they existed until they made themselves like they popped back into the story. But they think that they're them. They would have no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
They would have no reason whatsoever to think that those guys, like the guy who says, "Hey, are you those guys?" Apparently, he never seen them. He's never seen them. He has only heard about them in legend. So why in the world would he think that these two dorky-looking black guys, who are obviously just like, yeah,
It wasn't. They didn't even bring it up. He just had to say like, "Hey, you must be those
Allentown niggas."
Allentown niggas."
It's like, yes, we are. Yes.
Because they're known for being complete badasses, but very eccentric.
They didn't even offer that kind of.
No, they didn't. I'm just trying to think of
Like,
the thought process here.
But like stuff like that, I can forgive in a comedy because like comedy can be built upon ignorance. Like extending further beyond like the acceptable limit of human ignorance when it comes to shit like that. But here, it's just all it does is just amplify the anxiety I get when I'm watching these fucking just awkward ass people just trying to stumble their way through a story.
But we've definitely established that.
Yeah.
We spent way too much time establishing that, honestly. I mean, that is the meat of it, though.
But that's
the meat of it, but we can definitely move on to other areas of the movie.
Like
at this point, we've hammered that point home. I mean, the movie hammered it into us, and we hammered it out to you. They give it to us, we give it to you.
But it would. But the problem here for me personally about recounting the movie is that I don't dislike the movie.
Yeah,
I don't, because there were funny parts in it, and there were good character moments, smattering between here and there. Like the notion of I like the notion that that Keegan-Michael Key just managed to get like the guys that were following him to jive to Michael.
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to George Michael.
Back to the scene, actually, that
Yeah.
we originally spoke about. Yeah.
Like once he convinced them, like, hey, he's like George Michael is the shit.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was funny. That was legitimate.
That was legitimately funny. The scene with Anna Faris, not so much.
Yeah.
Anna Faris just pops up in the movie for no real reason, and then has a. You ever seen Boogie Nights?
No, I haven't.
Oh, in Boogie Nights, there's a very, very similar scene where, oh God, what was, it wasn't Oliver Platt, it was, some other, no, it wasn't Benicio del Toro, but it was, I forgot the actor's name, I'll put it right here.
Right.
So, that, he just shows up for a drug deal, and he's just coked out of his mind, and then he has like a little, he's a little Filipino boy just throwing firecrackers around the house for no reason, and then he starts playing Russian roulette. Yeah, those are like, he was like, you don't think I'll blow my trigger, huh? Yeah, you don't think I'll blow it, yeah? You don't think I'll pull the trigger, huh? Yeah, come on, watch. And then he pulls it and it's empty. He's like, ah! And then he's rocking out the Night Ranger. That, I feel like this movie was built upon homaging scenes from movies like that. Like in the back of Jordan Peele's house are posters for movies that range from New Jack City, Heat, and
Cloud Atlas.
Of all movies, right? Like one of these things is not like the other. One of these things. It's like the New Jack City I got. Heat I certainly got. And then like the unmentioned like references. So like I said, like that scene in Boogie Nights, but Cloud Atlas.
I'm surprised he didn't have that one show poster for that show that I can't remember the name of it, but it's this like what was it? This guy who gets visions from George Michael, and George Michael shows up in the show and like sings and stuff, and he gets messages and visions from him, and it helps him solve like cases.
I'm sorry. Did you dream this show?
No. It's here.
Like, I'm actually very curious to find out what this show is, where George Michael plays.
Oh yeah, it's real. I mean, he doesn't have like a big role in the show or anything, but he shows up now and then on the show because that's what it is.
It's like
it's the guy from Hackers is the star of the show.
Okay, that's
the main guy from Hackers. I forgot his name.
That's good. All right, we're gonna drop that before we go tumble further down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, his performance, it's real. It's real. Otherwise, I just went like this, and it will it will just say my dream.
It's like Gabe just fucking dreamed it. Because that sounds like a dream if I've ever heard it.
Well, the guy actually in this movie had a dream about George Michael.
Well, he had a drug hallucination about George Michael.
He had a vision.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, like the blips have a new drug that's basically a PCP, like it's crystal meth on crystal meth, if that makes any sense.
And it's called Holy Shit, because that gave a lot of chances to make holy shit reference jokes. Holy shit, this is amazing. Oh, look what we took. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Their jokes in their show their show's better than this movie. I have to be honest. They really fell short for me in this. Yeah,
like from the actual comedic writing point, when they weren't relying on being awkward.
Yeah.
The strength of the comedy is very, very weak.
Yeah, the George Michael vision.
Yeah,
it was just kind of the way it was executed. Just like, here's the George Michael video. Here's me watching it and being tripped out and dancing along with it. It's just like, but there's no. You're just dumping shit at this point, though.
And in comes Keanu, being voiced by Keanu Reeves.
In a very, very undistinguished monotone voice that really anybody could have done.
But it was Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it was Keanu Reeves. Didn't need to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you even? Because out of context, would you even really be able to say, "Oh, that's Keanu Reeves"?
Oh, there were some inflections that like, oh no, that does sound like Keanu Reeves.
This movie could have been so much better.
But it's not like Keanu. Well, to be fair, it's not like Keanu sounds like everyone's impression of him. He doesn't talk like this, Rufus.
Well, maybe he should have.
Like, he just calls him Rufus for no reason. No way! Rufus!
It would have been better than this shit. I don't know. It's just a movie about a kitten called Keanu, and by two successful comedians who make pretty good stuff in their show comparatively to everything else that's really in a dry period as far as comedy. I really thought this was going to be better than it was.
Yeah.
I mean, when you try to sell a movie that is an animal movie like that, I mean, there's a lot of bad movies. But so when you're trying to get people to watch your animal movie and you want it to actually be taken seriously, it's not just for kids. Like, this wasn't for kids, really. I expected more.
Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, there's not a lot that I would have done to change the movie per se, because I think this movie can only work the way it did, as far as the intent is concerned. Like, they wanted to be like, the whole strength of the movie is on those awkward interactions.
Yeah, but they didn't need the kitten.
No.
They could have put any other plot in between, because that whole the whole bridge of the whole movie in the middle, just excluding the beginning and end, like a good 80% of the movie was just these interactions, unrelated to the cat.
True.
They could have had anything else be the surrounding points, and so I would have taken this movie Keanu about rescuing a kitten named Keanu, and I would just dumped everything they did, and made that a different movie. And then I'd say, now let's make this movie about a kitten named Keanu.
And like, he's constant, like, it's almost like a Pee-wee's Big Adventure kind of thing, where he's constantly in someone else's possession.
Yeah, I mean, it was that kitten that really was an adorable kitten. You have to admit,
it was an adorable kitten, and you could easily, it's like, yeah, I could watch a movie with this cat.
It had personality. It was a good kitten.
It was a good, but but before we get too sidetracked on that, though, the movie kind of follows these beats that you would expect for it. They get found out after killing, or did they, the actual real baller badasses. Like, they kind of they teased a sequel.
Yeah, everybody left the theater except for us,
because I don't know, this movie seemed like something that they would put a little PS at the end of it, and they did, and it turns out that the baller badasses rose again.
They're doing the wake up daddy thing.
Don't wake daddy!
Like the Undertaker does.
You've never been able to look at that Undertaker.
I can't. Every time he sits up like that, I start laughing now.
Yep. Don't wake daddy. Yep. But, so, they get found out, they get abducted to the cousin of the Mexican cartels, the cousin to the guy who had that Mexican cartel, who was played by Luis Guzman, who I got into a conversation with Mark about Luis being probably the best, like, background actor you could possibly. You'd seen him in I can guarantee you've seen him in a dozen movies before this, and you always think, oh, that's that guy. He's like, there's that guy again. But you don't really know his name.
Most fluent character actor, huh?
Yeah, it's like a fluent character actor. Like, every time you need a guy who's Mexican, but he's, he's a good Mexican character actor, you just get Luis Guzman. You get Luis Guzman or you fuck off. Once upon a time, it was Danny Trejo, but then Danny Trejo became Danny Trejo. Like, people started knowing his name. So it's like, okay, we got Luis Guzman then. I mean, Luis Guzman looks like he could be a Mexican cartel leader. He could look like a hired gun, and he could look like, like some migrant worker.
He could even be the weed dealer.
Yeah, exactly.
He could be anyone.
Exactly. I mean, Luis Guzman, you don't get nearly enough praise for your steady work, steady hand at what you do, but even when you're in Waited, remember that Keanu, not Keanu Reeves, that Ryan Reynolds comedy where he was a waiter?
Was that Waiting?
Yeah, You're Waiting. Yeah.
I remember that. My mother loves that movie because she was a waitress for so long. Yeah. Then again, she loves any movie where there's Waitress. Well, remember the movie Waitress?
I thought your aunt loved that movie, but like your mom was.
My mom didn't like the movie. She wanted to see it, and we ended up going because of the Waitress. And God, I had to see that in theaters, and God, that was terrible.
Yeah, I saw it with her.
Yeah, this poor guy had to come along. Why the hell did I make you come along to that? It's not like he thought that it was going to be good. God.
It's like I'll see any movie. It was just. It's like I'll give any movie a chance.
Because we're we're going to anyway. Every week we have, it's a new movie, so it's kind of have to give it a chance. Except for Neighbors, no, we didn't have to give that piece of shit a chance. Fuck that shit. Out.
Remains to be the only movie we ever walked out on.
Yeah.
But
of course, Gavin liked it.
Is that time? Is it fuck Gavin o'clock?
I know we're about 5 minutes off, but just wanted to get that out of the way.
All right. But so they bring him up to him, say like, yeah, these are the guys that killed your cousin. Then a huge gunfight starts when Luis wants the cat back, and we forgot that the big the head of the Blips is played by Method Man.
Yeah, I recognized him right away. I didn't remember who he was. Then they said Method Man. Oh.
It was like, yeah, I remember Method Man.
Okay.
It was like, yeah, like I had that notion is like, especially when they did the whole reveal of Method Man, where it feel like you know, like they shot him in silhouette and with the back towards the camera, so they're doing a reveal. So you're thinking, okay, who could they be getting to play the leader?
It's like, oh, it's that.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, I know him. And then the credits roll and it says Method. Oh, fucking Method Man, of course. God damn it, I'm an asshole. Ugh. Well, although I will say that the little touches of geekdom here and there to really drive home the people who make this kind of movie, it's that Method Man.
He's playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and he's just frustrated because Shang Tsung is a fucking bitch. It's the original Shang Tsung too, not like the original Mortal Kombat, not Mortal Kombat 2, but the original Shang Tsung when he transformed into fucking Goro. Yeah, that's some OG shit right there. But back to the ending of the movie, where it just felt like the movie just kind of stopped, where like gunfight happens, and then all of a sudden everyone just sort of starts it becomes like the movie you think you were gonna get, where culminating where Luis and Jordan are in a car just fighting for control of a wheel, and finally just crashing in front of a house. And Luis just has him at gunpoint and says, "Where'd you learn how to drive?" And Jordan just says, "I don't drive." He does. And then all of a sudden, Keegan Michael comes out of nowhere and just runs Luis Guzman over. And it's like, that was a good moment. That was a fucking good moment. That was a great moment. And of course, Luis is still alive, which was great afterward.
It wasn't spectacular, but it was good.
It was a good moment. It was like in a movie that was up to that point just like finally operating like an actual movie.
Yeah.
It's like finally I can just
finally operated like an actual movie.
Like
you want to see this?
I know we really
we're not overselling it, are we?
And then it turns out that the woman who the woman who felt really out of place in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can't remember the last time that a woman was like, you know, like a hardcore gangster, but turns out it's because she wasn't, because she was a undercover cop and arrests everybody, including Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele for doing a lot of illegal shit.
Remember, your actions have consequences.
Yeah.
Remember, kids.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens.
And then then it just catches up with them 6 months later, and they're the best part about this is that Keanu is still a kitten, even though 6 months have passed. Still the same size.
Oh yes.
It's like I think this was a on the spot joke because it led up to fucking nothing. It's just like, wait a minute, we have it in the script for the time keeps going forward and the kitten's still the sex.
So they come up with one. She says, "Oh, and I'm really sorry to give you the news, but Keanu has a lifelong disease that. Well, she does. Keanu has a disease that. Was it he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never. Of course, Keanu. He's never going to grow up. He's going to be a kitten forever." It's like,
like fucking Peter Pan.
It's like, oh no, it's going to be cute and adorable forever.
He has.
I mean, if they're having a sequel to this, which the ending would imply, that cat's not going to be the same age.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get a new Keanu.
Oh yeah.
Now that they've established that, or maybe they just won't give a shit.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, we found a treatment.
Here, let's age your cat.
Yeah. No! I had the greatest cat. No wonder everybody wanted that cat. I mean, they must have known. I don't know how they knew, but maybe they did.
Like,
maybe they knew. This kid was like the eternal kitten. I mean, wouldn't you want an eternal kitten? I'm a cat person myself.
I live with cats. I mean, it's an animal. Cats are an animal.
Yeah, see, not a cat person.
I mean, like,
but if you're a cat person, you know what I mean. You want your cat to be a kitten forever. I mean, either that or you want it to be like a giant panther. You don't really want in between, or maybe that's just me.
I think that's all you, man.
It's either gotta be the little kitten or it's gotta be big.
So you don't want like a bobcat or a lynx-sized cat?
Well, that's big compared to a normal house cat. I'd take that, yeah.
But I don't know, like a Maine Coon can get pretty big. Maine Coon gets a pretty hefty cat.
Just get a Maine Coon.
Maine Coon. Or like one of those Savannah cats.
Ooh, Savannah cats are a great cat, apparently.
Yeah, they're great cats because they act like dogs.
I want to know to what degree.
They'll play fetch with you. They greet you at the door.
That's pretty cool coming from a cat. I mean, do they get dependent like dogs do, though? Like that stupid dependent?
I believe no more dependent than a cat does, where like a cat will die if you don't feed it.
No, I mean, like, do they go into manic depression if you, like, die? Like, if I die, is it going to follow me to... Is it, like, going to go to my grave and sit there every week?
I will wait. Like, you're the only person I know of who could take something as sweet and as endearing as that and then turn it into, like, some, like stupid creature. He's dead! He ain't ever coming back! What is wrong with you? Trying to throw shade my way by not being a cat person. Shame on you for taking those... A dog is faithful and loyal. A cat puts up with you. Cat hates you.
Yeah, do the Savannah cats, do they still bury their own shit? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
That's integral.
That's
integral.
I believe so, yes. I believe.
Well.
They bury their own shit.
Need I say more? I rest my case.
Hey, if you want boxes of shit in your house, get a cat.
if you want it just in random places.
Yeah, if you
dog.
If you're an asshole who doesn't train their dog. Like I said, like cat, like if you want a pet but you don't actually want to have a pet, get a cat.
If you want to have to take them on walks constantly to go use the bathroom.
If you want an excuse to have a lifelong buddy that forces you to take care of yourself, then get a dog. Because a dog will
drool
love
all over yourself instead of that very, very endearing, cleanly.
Oh, cleanly. Remind me the next time that cat hawks a hairball right in your fucking face as you're trying to sleep.
I've never had that happen to me, actually.
Twice happened to me.
Well, that must be a reflection on you.
That must be a reflection on fucking cats, is what that fucking is.
Cats, you have to, it's just, I don't want to become like frickin', Meet the Fockers here, Meet the Parents.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, but a dog has never got on top of my sleeping body, then tried to block my airway through my CPAP mask, and tried to suffocate me.
Oh, yeah, so he just got having to take care of a sick old cat.
Not even an old cat, it was barely middle-aged. And that motherfucker was not sick, he was just being an asshole.
Okay, well, there is an exception to the rule. Sometimes there's just like...
Cats are fucking cunts. They are. That's just in their nature. And then we as humans are trying to. We're like Stockholm Syndrome survivors. Like, that's just the way they are. I mean, I love little Prissy, and Prissy, I think, loves me. I mean, she only swiped at me 4 times today, and that's really good for her. You know, cats have such an independent personality. Really, she's a diva. That's, how can you hate a diva? That's just her being her. It's like, I can find very, very valid reason to hate fucking divas.
Well, anyway, moving past.
Moving past all right, getting beyond my own trepidation with cats as cats as a breed, like cats as an animal, I don't like. I can like a cat by a cat on cat basis. Like your cat, I like because she acts like a dog.
Okay.
She's friendly. She's interested in people.
Okay, so I think what we can agree in is that there are flaws and merits to both cats and dogs. And if we could take all the merits of both of them and none of the flaws, well, shit, then we'd just be in heaven. We wouldn't have to do anything, would we?
Actually, a cat acting like a dog is one of the most miserable pieces of shit I've ever seen. Like, that cat I took care of was acting like a dog. You want to talk about needy? It's like, I put food down, doesn't want the food. Meow, meow, meow. Eat the food! I know you like the food. I see you eat it before. Eat the food! Why? You're trying to defend that kind of behavior?
No. I said the merits of the both cats and dogs and none of the flaws.
Like, I would take a needy dog over a needy cat any fucking day of the week. Any day. You try to defend a needy cat, you might as well be trying to defend...
My cat is not needy.
Your cat is not needy. That's why I say that...
You said you like it because it's like a dog. Yeah. And dogs are needy.
Yeah. I did say that. But, at the very least, your cat doesn't mew like a fucking little princess when it doesn't get the food it thinks it wants.
I said merits. You did remember that.
Yes.
Not flaws.
Yes.
I said merits and not flaws.
Yeah, merits and not flaws. But I'm just telling you, cats are a lot more needier than you're giving them credit for as a species.
Oh, sure they are. Because they can.
Because they expect it out of you.
Yeah, but if they don't get it, I think they're more likely to be able to survive on their own. If they don't get it. Whereas dogs are kind of dumb where they're like, my master hasn't put food down yet. Maybe I just keep waiting.
Yeah,
like there's a window open over there, but I don't know. My master would like that.
I don't know. Like, if you go out in Los Angeles, there are packs of wild, untamed chihuahuas. Like, chihuahuas, one of the dumbest dogs in the world, are able to survive on their own by hunting rodents out in the wild. They revert back to their natural instincts.
You know, oddly enough, I don't have too much of a problem with chihuahuas. I mean, I certainly they sure are annoying. A lot of them, the yipping and the nipping, but I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's. But I think we've gone way off track here.
I don't know. I mean, some of this might even get chopped.
No, I'm keeping this all in. But fuck it, because this is a discussion about a movie that we saw. Yeah. Where that discussion goes, that's up to the video itself. But final thoughts on Keanu? Actually, you know what?
I really wish that he had not taken place in Bram Stoker's Dracula at all. I wish that they had gotten somebody else, just about anybody else.
You know what? I think all of that movie never needed to exist except for Gary Oldman.
That's kind of, yeah.
Do we really need Winona Ryder?
We didn't need Winona Ryder. We didn't need Winona Ryder. We didn't need Keanu. We didn't need Anthony Hopkins. Not that version of Anthony Hopkins, that's for sure.
Anthony Hopkins and fucking Gary Oldman just needed to be in a better vampire movie. I mean, like, that movie had no idea what it wanted to be. I mean, I know you love that movie.
Francis Ford Coppola did a great job with the cinematography and
it's beautifully
the scene setting, the costuming. Yeah. Gary Oldman, brilliant. All of that, brilliant. Actually, Lucy, the person who played Lucy, she was amazing too.
Yeah.
Like, she was fucking hot.
But that movie, like, did not know if it was supposed to be an over-the-top campy movie. Or if it was supposed to be an actual, like, vampire movie. Like, that pendulum swung far the other way on that
Yeah.
But this particular movie, Keanu, my thoughts are just, besides it being disappointing, I think as a comedy, I think it's disappointing because you said it best that there was a lot more room for the material for the cat than what there wound up being.
Yeah.
But as a movie going experience, it was one of the worst movie going experiences I've ever had in my life.
Oh, jeez, really that bad?
Yeah, I
Oh
can't.
my god.
It's one of the, but that's not exactly to the.
No, I know that's not the movie. It's you.
It's all me.
about you.
That is all me,
Yeah.
and I will fully admit that it's not a lot.
It's like a trigger thing, kind of.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word trigger in that context, but
Well, we're trying to help understand exactly
Yeah.
the kind of thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
without.
Yeah, it is really one of the most unpleasant movie going experiences I've ever had in my life. It's just, and like I said, it's not because of the movie. Not,
Hits your buttons.
It just hits my buttons in a way that I have never had them hit before, and I will go to my grave being thankful that if I never see this movie again, rather. But
Would you see the sequel?
yeah, because I think then.
Well, you're just a masochist.
I'd go see the sequel because at the very least they won't. I have a feeling they wouldn't do like, well, we have to go undercover again, because
No. The sequel is going to be white people trying to turn other white people into black people.
so you're,
Into like
it's like Soul Man, like fucking.
Soul.
You never seen Soul
I've
Man?
never seen Soul.
Oh,
This is a movie I need to see.
well, I forgot the actor's name. Oh wait a minute, Zabka? No, not Zabka. It's. God, you. Eh.
Is this like some early '90s movie?
No, mid '80s. It was.
Oh,
I forgot the actor's name, but he plays a black guy trying to get into college. It's a black-faced movie.
oh,
Oh yeah, trying to get into college. Yeah, it was college.
no blackface. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like these guys were whiteface.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I mean, if you look at this movie and you flip it around in reverse, I mean, that's freaking bizarre?
Like a bunch
Like
of
this was weird enough.
yeah, like a bunch of white, like some upper crust white, Connecticut blue bloods had to infiltrate like
A frat party or something.
no, or, like no, like if we're keeping the dangerous angle, like some like trailer trash, fucking like crystal meth dealer.
Yeah, but not like the completely vegetable kind of trailer trash kind of,
Or-
but like the more cognizant, bad kind of like butch.
Like Breaking Bad kind of gang.
Yeah.
Like the Aryan neo-Nazi kind
Yeah,
of.
and being like like
It's like, I dare say, old chap, we've got ourselves in quite a pickle over this young kitten.
oh jeez. What the hell was that?
I'm just trying to picture what that movie would
That was
look
like
like.
Gentleman Brawler,
Like I said, Connecticut Blue Blood, and I think like fucking Hunter Hearst.
or like a game hunter or something. From the,
Yeah, like I'm just
like
thinking.
old British game hunter.
I'm just thinking of like how Hunter Hearst Helmsley used to talk back in the early
Danish fop. That is.
90s. Yeah, like if he was like literally a Danish fop trying to infiltrate like a fucking Breaking Bad neo-Nazi gang or
Oh
something.
jeez.
He's like, a spritz of my atomizer and I shall be as fresh as a daisy.
Oh my god.
But-
Trying to get them to listen to like Tupac or
No, like trying
not,
to get.
not even.
No, like he's trying to get him to listen
No,
to
what's
Pachelbel Cannon or something like that, or
No. This is in reverse.
oh, like if okay.
No, he's in for. They're trying to.
So if
They're white people who are actually really gangster. They're really like they are niggas. But this is.
you mean
reverse.
Wiggas? You mean Wiggas? That's what white.
Would you say that in this movie that they both were actually quite nerdy white
Well, yeah, because that's
in that sense? I
yeah,
mean,
like in that.
so this would be the opposite. You've never seen it. That's so weird.
Yeah,
You can see it that way, but you can't see it the other way for some reason. It's just you don't see it.
yeah,
Like these two white guys who are just actually like really baller niggas.
no.
They're both like Eminem is what you get the picture of. Like Kid Rock and Eminem. That's
Oh.
what you end up getting.
Oh,
They think that they are, but
oh, that is.
you want to see
Wasn't that
through
Malibu's Most Wanted? That was Malibu's Most Wanted.
Did that happen?
You never see Malibu's Most Wanted?
No, I haven't. Did that happen?
Jamie Kennedy grows up like watching hip hop all his life, so he's a white guy who thinks like I'm an OG gangster. Oh god.
And the reason that you can't see it that way is because one of these is the privileged people, and one of these isn't. You can't do it that way because you're a douche fuck if you do.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck business do you have doing that shit? It just ain't gonna happen. So, why would you do that?
Yeah. I'll give Keanu.
Oh my God.
I'll give Keanu one thing. I can imagine it being funny to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I can imagine it being like, if you're the kind of person who likes to laugh at cringe comedy, you will love this movie. But if you just like, one scene's enough for me anymore, and I just can't watch. You don't need to see this movie. It's not, outside of the cringe, it's not particularly funny, and there was a lot of disappointment. And there's just not enough to hold it together, I think.
No.
You know,
Throw away the entire middle of it and, make a new movie out of that. Do something else with the kitten from Sauron. You gotta... Come on, how creative do you really have to be? Look at how juicy that is.
the kitten,
The kitten of Sauron. Throw it into, the frickin' Wise Guys or whatever. Comedy sketch guys, just say that and boom, improv on the spot. They'll give you something. I'm surprised that I can never help with the names, but I'm surprised that these two guys couldn't do better with that kind of that idea.
I think that like they had the idea of black guys, suburban black guys who had to infiltrate a gang, but they just didn't have a reason. Like, well, why would they do it? It's like, to rescue, like someone's girl or something like that. Like, no, a kitten. That'll be funnier.
That is funnier, but when you make it the title of your movie,
when you make it the title of the movie,
and all your preview is all this kitten,
and considering like you kind of wrote this cat to be this otherworldly, enrapturing object that will twist the minds of men and beast alike.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
You've created expectations with that.
Yeah, especially when you write the cat to be like somewhat psychic and
it's very cognizant. It's very intelligent.
Yeah, it was able to like unbind Jordan Peele's ropes. It clawed the
and
ropes.
it knew to attack.
Luis
not its owner, but the other guy,
Luis Guzman,
which for a cat can be a hard hard thing to distinguish.
Yeah,
I'll admit.
Like, if you're in trouble, a cat's not gonna come and save you.
Nope. And I kind of like that cool distance a bit,
Yeah, like, someone's pointing a gun, and you're looking at your cat, it's like, help! Like, nah, you're on your own, bro. You're on your own. What's the dog gonna do? He's gonna get in the way of that gun. He's gonna save your life. And how do you return that faithfulness and loyalty? You're not gonna do anything, are you?
Like, no, dog.
No, dog. This is my bullet.
I don't need to keep going. My life with you is hell.
Ugh.
I clean up after you.
Why am I friends with you? Till next time.
It's hurtful.
Oh God! Did I get too real? Did I get too real?
Too unreal.
This has been an eventful.
He knows exactly why he's friends with me. I'm like the human from. I'm like Sauron's human. God, that sounds weird.
This has been a very eventful Sage Versus. I can't wait till what next week offers, which is Civil War.
Oh, and I got something special for that.
But you'll have to wait until next week to see.